Here's the thing. Something we won't say in a Sunday school class full of people. It's probably not even something we would say to our wives or our husbands, but it's something that is in the back of our minds all the time. Anytime we have an issue that comes up, we always wonder, will God take care of this? And what we wouldn't tell everybody is sometimes we even say, how can God take care of this? Right? Because let's be honest, especially if you're a spiritual infant, if you will, or a spiritual, toddler, or maybe even a spiritual adolescent. How is a God that I can't see going to intervene in my problems? It's a tough question. It's a tough question. Let me tell you how it happens. God listens to your prayers. He waits on you to humble yourself before Him. He waits for you to realize that whatever you are dealing with here on earth does not anywhere compare to eternity. And then God moves. He opens doors, He shuts doors, and God moves in ways that honestly we can't even explain. How does God move? When you need something, God puts it on somebody else's heart to provide that thing. How does God move? When you need something, God shows you a way. But here's the problem. We are just like the disciples when Jesus was taking a nap. The storm's coming, and by the way, these were fishermen that have been through a few storms, so this storm was huge, and they yell at Him. They yelled at Jesus. Right? Could you imagine yelling at Jesus, by the way? Like, King of Kings over here. Like, we're going to yell at this guy? Son of God. We're going to yell at this guy? They yelled at him. They said, Master, do you not care that we're going to die? Wow. How many times have you said that in your prayer life? God, do you not care that I'm going through this? God, are you even listening? Do you understand how difficult things are in my life right now? God, do you understand what I'm dealing with? Do you understand what I'm going through? Do you even care? The problem that we have as Christians and the problem that we have in facing and fighting our battles the right way is we are too many times ready to tell God how big our problems are instead of letting our problems know how big our God is. Because understand this, your problems that you're dealing with are nothing for God. Our bodies, what we deal with, guess what? He created it. He can fix it. Finances, He can fix it. The Bible says He will supply all of your needs according to His riches and glory. He's wealthier than any king that has ever lived. He has more power than we can imagine. He spoke things into existence at the snap of a finger, and He said, let there be light, and boom, there was light. That's how powerful your God is. But we have to trust and believe that God not only cares about our problems, but He will care about us in our problems, and He will take care of our problems. But the problem is, for us, we have to be willing to be on our knees and trusting Him. And let me ask you this. Is it possible that sometimes God allows us to go through things simply because He wants to talk to us? I mean, I think I said this a few weeks ago, but how many of us have that friend that only calls when they need something? You that friend of God? You that person that only prays when you need something? You that person that only goes to God when you have a request? He ain't a genie. It's not a three wishes kind of situation. oh boy, things are going rough. Let me go holler at God and see if he'll take care of this. God, do you not even care about my problems? I've not spoke to you in 3 weeks, but do you not care about my problems? But Christianity is supposed to be an easy road, right? Being a Christian is supposed to just take care of everything, right? Verse number 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Verse number 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Let's talk about verse number 9 for a second, because I said this a minute ago. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. That means that there are other people in this room that have went through the same things you're going through. And guess what? Sometimes they're going through the same thing at the same time. So we've got to resist the devil in the faith of knowing that there's other people that have went through the same thing. And guess what? God has moved in their life, and you can encourage and exhort, advise other people of this is how God moved in my life. See how it's kind of coming full circle here, and we're only talking about 11 verses. But in these 11 verses, Peter has said, leadership, you let Christ lead. Elders, you disciple the younger. And younger ones, you shut your mouth and listen to the older ones. And if everybody involved will get on their knees and cry out to God and humble yourself before God, you can resist the devil. Because, oh, by the way, as verse number 8 says, he is the adversary. Now notice what it says here. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Be sober, be vigilant. You know what that means? It means to be single-minded. It means to have spiritual goggles. The Greek word for devour is katapian, which means to drown, to swallow or to drown. If you call on the name of Jesus, and this is the most misconceived thing in the church across America, we feel like if we get saved, all of our problems are going to be fixed. No. If you get saved, there are more problems on the way, because now you have an enemy. And I'm going to be bold enough to say this. If you're not going through something right now in your Christian walk, it's because of one of 3 reasons. Number 1, because the devil already has you right where he wants you, and there's no reason to attack. Number 2 is because he's on his way. Or number 3, you just went through something, and God's letting you take a break. He's brought you through it, and now it's time for you to be lifted up a little bit. Now it's time for you to experience some mountaintop. You say, do you really believe that, Pastor? Absolutely. It's the book. It's the book. Marvel not. I said the world will hate you because of me. Right? That's what John says about Jesus. Marvel not that the world's going to hate you because of Jesus. So if the world doesn't hate you, that means that they don't recognize you as Jesus. But what was it Peter said? Oh yeah, you're supposed to live by example. And if you live by example, the world's going to hate you, and the devil is going to become your adversary. But we have to be single-minded. Being sober, being vigilant, being single-minded. Paul talked about being double-minded. You know what being double-minded means? I want to live sinful life, but I want to go to heaven. That doesn't work. That's not what, as we talked about last week, that's not who God is. It's either right or left. It's either him or not. The devil wants to drown you. And if, by the way, you want to take a look at that, look at this church for an example. November 2021, you don't have a pastor, and there's about 30 people on Sunday morning. You have well, let's go back to October, because in November I was getting voted in. October, September, August, and I've heard you all say it because you've said it to me. You look around with 20 people in here on a Sunday morning and go, is this place going to shut its doors? Is the church going to be gone? God sends an under-shepherd in November. I finally wake up and understand this is where God wanted me to come. We get here, and from November 21 to November 22, the church explodes. Growth all over the place, averaging over 100 people every week. But from about January 23 to today, what's happened? Battle after battle after battle. Division that's tried to sneak in among the church. What does verse 8 say? Seeking whom he may devour. Which means the devil is looking around this room and he's trying to figure out which one of you or me that he can take out. If you enjoyed that message, then you'll want to check out this video for more biblical truths. You can help spread the gospel by clicking the like button or even consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you to the next one.